welcome to Hip Hop's super easy Chinese lesson number 1 for intermediate learners, where I try to teach you things that the textbooks don't. My name is Alex Tsai, and I have a bachelor's degree in learning Chinese as a foreign language. So today we're going to talk about ordering at a restaurant. If you have already seen my video for beginners on food, then you know that it's kind of easy. If you're a new learner, it's perfect. If you are interested in learning a little bit more and maybe already have a background in Chinese, a little bit, ordering at a restaurant, this class is going to be more about the things that I've learned when I came to Taiwan that I wouldn't necessarily have learned if I was learning Chinese in the States. Okay, so the structure of this class is going to, first, I'm going to show you the vocab. There are going to be 25 words. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about culture and what shocked me when I first moved here to Taiwan. And then we're going to use some word usage and phrasing, learn some sentences and grammar that way. So first, let's look at the vocabulary. I'm going to post them right here. So as you're looking at these words, if you already know all of these words, then this class is probably too easy for you. So you can go ahead and check out my advanced class when that comes out. If these words you have never learned before, or if you learned some of them but not all of them, this is the perfect class for you, so feel free to stay tuned. Okay, I got my list here. So we're going to just start with me saying and pronouncing the words, and you can pronounce it back after me. 内用外带这边吃带走早餐店三明治汉堡奶茶咖啡餐厅饭干面汤面凉面牛肉猪肉羊肉素辣饮料啤酒红酒甜点蛋糕冰淇淋 Okay, so you can go back and rewind and keep practicing those words if you feel like you need more practice. If not, let's keep going forward. Okay, so now we've learned the vocabulary, and they're just very basic vocabulary for different foods that you'll find at restaurants, especially when you're going to order something. One thing I wanted to talk about before we go into each vocab is to talk a little bit about culture. As I've said in my other video, and I'll probably say it a lot more, is that in Chinese, the culture is super, super direct. So often, like in America, whenever there's a service, like waitressing or anything, we always want to have really good manners, right? In Taiwan, they don't really focus on manners so much, which was really shocking to me when I first came here, because, well, one reason is they don't get tips. Another reason is just it's a very direct culture. So instead of saying like, hello miss, what would you like to have for dinner? It's like, what do you want? And the first time I heard that, I was like, oh, I can't believe you're asking me like that. But it's not rude, it's just how they say it. It's how a waitress asks you what you would like to have. They say, what do you want? What do you need? Yeah. So I'm going to teach you a phrase here that let's pretend you're first walking up to a tea store, you want to buy a tea, or you are going to get, a breakfast or whatever. You first come up and they say, 你要什么? 你要什么? What do you want? And so don't be taken aback by it. And the way you would answer is you would say, 我要 blah, blah, blah. Whatever you want, you say, 我要 blah, blah, blah. And it's just very direct, and you'll get used to it. So now that I'm just telling you ahead of time, hopefully if you come visit me in Taiwan, or visit Taiwan, on your own time, or go to China, like you're not offended. They're not being rude, don't worry. So that's a little culture lesson. Okay, so now let's go back to these vocabulary words. The reason why I have 带走 and 这边吃 and 内用 and 外带 is because this is also something that they will probably ask you just about every time if the restaurant lets you take things to go, because a lot of people are on the go, and so it's very common to just pick something up very quickly and just take it to go. So after you order whatever you want, they'll say 你要内用还是外带? So that's, you know, then you could know right away, oh, 我要内用还是我要外带. Okay? And the same thing with 这边吃还是带走. It means the same thing, but it just depends on the person. Some people are used to saying it the other way. So if they say it that way, it would just be 你要这边吃还是带走. Okay? So hope you learned something new with that. All right, next up, 早餐店. In Taipei, the 早餐店 is not like a fancy breakfast diner. It's usually like this tiny little crappy breakfast place, and the tables are probably going to be sticky, but the food is pretty good. And they have, like, you know, breakfast sandwiches, breakfast hamburgers, something in Taiwan called danbing, which is like an egg rolled up in like almost like a thin crepe thing, which is super good. I love a good danbing. Another thing that they have is nai cha. So it's basically just like a Lipton tea with some milk and sugar in it. And then their coffee is not going to be like amazing coffee at a normal 早餐店. It's going to be probably the powder kind with the milk and sugar already in it. So don't be expecting like a 5-star coffee when you go to these 早餐店. Okay, next up we have fan. I know in China they say mi fan, but in Taiwan they say fan, and that usually means like rice. It can also, though, it can get a little tricky when it also means a meal. So like when they say 你吃饭了吗, it's not saying have you eaten rice yet. It's asking you have you eaten a meal yet. But like the reason why I put fan and mian in these vocabularies is because when we're with our friends and we don't know what to eat, we often say 你要吃饭还是要吃面? So 你要吃饭还是要吃面? So that is a direct choice, like a time where you can split off and make a decision as far as what kind of restaurant you want to go to. Okay, so then after we have the fan, we have our mian. And in Taipei, there's mainly three kinds of mian. We have gan mian, tang mian, and liang mian. Now, liang mian, it sounds kind of weird, but liang mian is really nice on a hot day in Taiwan. You don't feel like eating something heavy. You don't feel like eating anything hot. But like they don't really do salads here in Taiwan because it's not super recommended to eat raw vegetables because of parasites and stuff. But when you have a cold noodles and they have this yummy sesame sauce on it and some carrots, like raw carrots and cucumber, it's the best thing. So that's called liang mian. If you come here in the summer, make sure that you get that. Next, we have our different kinds of meats. If you see the menu, it's usually going to have rice or noodles, okay? And then they like to take the rice dish and then you can choose between like pork or beef or tofu or whatever, okay? So that's why I decided to teach you these characters and these words here. I think the trickiest word here of these different meat names is su. Su is actually a vegetarian. So if you are a vegetarian, you can say 我吃素的. 我吃素的. It means I'm a vegetarian. So on the menu, they often have like 素食. So 素食means there's no meat in the food. So that's always a really good option to have. Okay, one other thing they will ask you sometimes is if you want to add spice or not. So they would say 你要不要加辣? 你要不要加辣? And that just means would you like us to add some hot, spicy sauce to it? And typically the spice that they have in Taiwan is all the same. It comes in this jar and it's like salty and spicy and it's delicious. So if they ask you 要不要加辣, and if you are a spicy lover, then make sure you say yes to that. Okay, next up we have 饮料. 饮料 means drinks, but it doesn't include alcoholic drinks. So 饮料 typically means like soda, milk, juice, stuff like that. So soda would be, what is soda actually? 可乐, I think they call it depending on what soda it is. So like Coca-Cola and 雪冰 is Sprite. I don't feel like we have soda that often at restaurants. I never drink soda, so that's probably why I don't know how to say it. Anyways, other kind of 饮料, we got 牛奶. This isn't on our vocabulary list, but just in case. And then 果汁. 果汁 is juice. Okay? Next up, we got 啤酒 and 红酒. I'm sure you already know how to say 啤酒 if you're an intermediate. But 红酒actually comes from like 葡萄酒. That's grape alcohol. So 葡萄酒 can be 红酒, and also there's 白葡萄酒, like white wine. Gotta love that stuff. Okay, and then next up we have desserts, 甜点. Now, of course, there's way more desserts than what I list here. We got 蛋糕, and then we also have 冰淇淋. If you want to learn some other words, you can look it up. Basically, like chocolate, vanilla, cheese, strawberry, whatever the flavor is, it goes first, and then the cake. Just like how we do in English. Like, let's say we want chocolate cake. It's chocolate first and then cake. Yeah, so with saying that in Chinese, it's 巧克力蛋糕 or 草莓蛋糕. We could also do the same thing with 冰淇淋, with ice cream. So we could say 草莓冰淇淋 or 香草冰淇淋. What is your favorite 冰淇淋? Let me know. 你最喜欢的冰淇淋是什么？请告诉我在下面. Okay, so now that we have learned a lot of these vocabulary words, let's put them into practice and do like a little skit where I will be the waitress and I will also be the customer. So bear with me here. I wish Jerry was here with me so he could be the waiter, but he's not. So I'm gonna do this on my own. Okay, so here it goes. 你要什么？我要一个鸡肉三明治。好，饮料呢？饮料我要一个奶茶。好的，你要内用还是外带？我要内用，谢谢。不会。Okay, so then I get my breakfast, I'm eating it, and let's just say for some weird reason, I know it's breakfast, but let's say I want dessert, and this breakfast place happens to serve dessert, just for funsies because we need to practice the dessert part. 不好意思，小姐，我可以点甜点吗？ And then she comes. 好，你要什么甜点？我要一个起司蛋糕，谢谢。好吧。And then, yeah, so it's just that easy. Also, one other thing about when you come to paying, some restaurants need you to pay in the beginning before you get your food, and other restaurants want you to pay after you're done eating. So when that happens, what do we ask? What I usually say is, 我要先吃再付吗? And that just means, do I need to eat first and then pay? And then they'll usually tell you, like, 对, or no, 你要先付钱. So there you have it. Okay, so I really hope you learned something new. I hope it wasn't too long, too boring. Ask me questions. If you want to know how to say certain things, ask me questions. Give me feedback. If this was super boring, let me know. If this was interesting, let me know. Because this is kind of my first time doing it. I mean, it's chapter 1. So, I mean, lesson 1. So, I need feedback. So please let me know and have a wonderful day. I love you all. Please be free to check out my mugs at moraceramics.com. My husband and I own a ceramics company where we're telling people to hit pause. So that's why this class is called Hit Pause Super Easy Chinese Lesson, because we want people to stop from their ordinary, boring, busy days and just maybe learn something new or take time to take care of yourself. So I also have a self-care series as well. So feel free to hit pause and keep learning new things. Also, if you like this video, if you learned something new, please feel free to subscribe, give us a like, and thank you again. Have a wonderful day. Love you all. Goodbye.